Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are taking a look at NECA, Jager, Crimson Typhoon. This is the second figure in the NECA Pacific Rim release. And man, I gotta say, I'm looking forward to this, but I do want to state one thing. I love the look of these guys, but I'm a little bit worried about this one in particular because of the asymmetry that's going on in the robot mode there. Sorry, I'm looking at my viewfinder to make sure I've got the figure in frame. But anyway, I'm still looking forward to getting a hold of this thing and playing with it and see how it is. So let's go ahead, open them up, and take a look. Right out of the box, I have to say that Crimson Typhoon is a much more dynamic and interesting Jager than Gypsy Danger. And I think that comes from his asymmetry up top. On the right-hand side of the figure, we have this double arm setup that is pretty cool. The arms are pretty much the same, but one is slightly farther back on the back of the figure. And then for the left arm, we have this giant grabbing claw that is sadly not articulated. Overall, the look of the figure is much better and much more interesting than Gypsy Danger. Not to say that Gypsy Danger is bad or anything, but I just like the look of this guy much more than that first Jager. Size comparison-wise, Gypsy Danger and Crimson Typhoon are roughly the same height. Though that being said, as you can see, Gypsy Danger has a much more typically humanoid look, while Crimson Dynamo is a much different aesthetic than the blue guy we have here. Up close, we see the beautiful rendering that NECA has done with this figure. Though I do find it a little bit odd that he is kind of a cycloptic cannon eye. I'm not really sure if this is an iris or if it's actual, like, cannon of some sort. My only complaint with the figure that, paint-wise, is that the yellow used for his eye cannon thingy is very, very dull, and it's a very bad coat. You can see the plastic underneath. I do appreciate, though, the multiple kaiju that it has already taken down. I really like that. Again, like Crimson Typhoon, you could see the incredible work and incredible paint that NECA puts into its figures. It's just a very, very well done figure. And I think this figure works in much better ways than the original Gypsy Danger does. I think it's just the fact that it's a non-humanoid shape, or a less humanoid shape, that makes me like it so much. Now, Crimson Dynamo does have a little bit of better posability than Gypsy Danger. Head is on a ball joint. Right arms are different segments. You've got no articulation in the hands or fingers, elbow articulation for the first arm, and then only a swivel here. The rear arm is on a ball joint, or very limited set of ball joints, though you can get some better poses, and it does have the elbow and a rotating hinge at the wrist. And I am sorry, there is a hinge here on the front hand as well. So you can kind of do this evilish look, I guess. The right arm is on a very large ball joint in the shoulder, a hinge joint at the elbow for straight and then 90-degree bend, and then a ball joint for the claw, though the claw is limited in articulation. There is some limited torso articulation, though much more than Gypsy Danger. For the hips, ball joint in the hips, hinge joint at the first knee, the second knee, another hinge, and then a hinge at the ankle. No rear hinge. Again, though, like Gypsy Danger, Crimson Typhoon, not Crimson Dynamo, that is an Iron Man villain. Crimson Typhoon does have very loose hinges at the ankles, and I don't know why, but you do have a little bit better posability options with Crimson Typhoon. Overall, Crimson Typhoon is a much better figure than Gypsy Danger. Now, I don't think we're going to be getting an 18-inch figure like we are with Gypsy Danger, but I really like Crimson Typhoon here. I think he's a much better posable figure, and he is a much funner figure. And what I mean is, he's just easier to pose and just cooler. He has that slapped together giant robot feel that Gypsy Danger just didn't. And that's not to say that Gypsy Danger is bad, but Gypsy Danger was definitely missing a certain feel. This definitely has a B monster movie feel to it, and it in and of itself is more monstrous than Gypsy Danger ever could be. So guys, I hope you enjoy this review of Crimson Typhoon by NECA. I would recommend picking this guy up because, well, he's just pretty darn cool looking.